Happy Friday! The last Friday of June. How did that happen? I have no idea. So today we're going to talk about lessons learned in the first year of business. June 1st was my 1-year anniversary of starting entrepreneurship. So some things that I learned that I didn't expect to learn is what I'm going to share with you today. So the first one is how lonely it can be being an entrepreneur. And I don't know that anybody ever told me that that was going to be the case, you know, the whole it's lonely at the top and all that stuff. But in my organization before, I was in a top leadership role. So I didn't feel that because I was collaborating with people all of the time. And I know I felt that a lot with starting Light. So June of last year is when I started Light, and although my family and my husband and my friends were super supportive and would have conversations with me when I wanted that or needed that interactions, it was so different to go from a very team collaborative environment to doing your own thing. People care, but they aren't in the trenches with you, so it was a very lonely feeling. And once I found a couple people that helped with that. So another person who started their business about the same time as me is Angel Evanson, which you can see us would collaborate on various things. She does marketing, I do finance, so we're a good complement for each other. So we've been walking this journey together side by side for the last year. And that helped, but it didn't fix it because she's doing her thing and I'm doing mine. And it just didn't fix that need for collaboration, that need to be able to share in the struggles or bounce a client's situation off of somebody just to talk through it. Me being extroversion or preferring extroversion, I need to talk through a lot of things. So that was really hard, being lonely. I remember Christmas Eve being like super sad, and I love Christmas. I love spending time with my family. It's my favorite time of year, and this had been going on for about 2 or 3 months that I had this feeling of just not really overwhelmed, but really just sadness. And there's been a couple other times in my life where I've felt that sadness. So I shared this with a friend that I don't know what's going on, but I just feel really sad. And this is an easy fix. It just happened to work for me, but I started taking vitamin D, and that really changed my emotion, and that sadness kind of went away. So I was sad, took vitamin D, check. That was an easy fix. I'm not sure that it's always that easy, but I'm thankful that Melissa recommended that I do that so that I could be happy again and live my fullest life. So took vitamin D. The other thing that I did is I hired somebody. So having Carrie start in November, at first it was a little like, oh, it should just be not lonely anymore because she's here. But it took about a month and a half till that feeling really went away, maybe even 2 months. I think it was in January where we really started being a team. And that first part is the training, all the training that goes in with starting something brand new for her, and that I still need to transition that. So I was still feeling lonely in that. And now that she's killing it and providing so much value to all of our clients, that feeling has gone away. So the things that I did to combat the loneliness or that feeling was taking vitamin D, which means taking care of yourself and your health, and then also having somebody come alongside me, and that would be hiring my first employee back in November. So that's the first lesson I learned, is how lonely it is being an entrepreneur and being on your own, and some things that I did to change that. The second lesson that I learned, and will continue to learn, this is going to be a lifelong lesson for me, is that I can't serve anybody or everyone. I can serve some people, but I can't serve everyone. And this will continually be a challenge for me, and it has been in the past and will continue to be. And why it's a challenge for me specifically is my personality type. So I'm a 2 on the Enneagram, which is a helper. So I just want to help people. I just want to help people achieve their dreams, and anybody who asks for help is worthy of help in my mind. But also I need to think about my health, my capacity, and as well as those of my team and my team members. So what's best for them might not be taking on another client or taking on a specific client, and being able to say no to that has been something that hasn't been the easiest lesson. I've had to say yes and then retract or do it differently, and that was hard. Just because they want my services doesn't mean we are a good match, and or that I can provide value doesn't mean that I'm a good match. And if it's not a good match, so we talk a lot in business about your ideal client and really being super intentional with that. So if I stray from my ideal client, and my ideal client isn't necessarily, or our ideal client isn't necessarily like a person in this industry, in this position. It's really about being super open and honest and transparent and sharing our core values, whether they're vocal about it or not, but doing that and exhibiting that behavior. So really finding your ideal client and sticking to that. So that's lesson 2, finding your ideal client, or defining it, and then saying no to people who don't fit in that parameter. And then the third lesson actually came up when we were doing a video shoot last week, and my good friend Jess asked me, what have you learned in the last year? Or what surprised you? That was the question. What surprised you the most in the last year? And I said, I don't know that I really want to say this out loud because it sounds contradictory to what everybody says entrepreneurship or starting a business is. And I said how easy it was. And it not easy in like the fact that all of the things that were hard, there's days that I didn't cry myself to sleep, but it was crying at work, or had a really difficult conversation. All that stuff was hard, and there was hard things in it. But the easiness of following your path that was meant for you is what makes it easy. So making the next right choice seems fairly easy. And it's the difficult piece, or the piece that is less difficult than I thought it would be, is navigating that. So because it all depends on me, that also makes it easy to make decisions and to pivot if we need to. So the third lesson is how easy it is when you're aligned with your purpose and what you're supposed to be doing and how you're supposed to be serving people. So those are my 3 lessons in first year of entrepreneurship. I appreciate you who hang out with me on Fridays, or whenever you hop on our Facebook page or get our emails or any of those stuff. I appreciate you guys so much. I appreciate my support system, my family, my friends. I appreciate Carrie and Drew and Aaron, who just go along with my crazy ideas. Sometimes they're probably like, lady, we can't do any more, but we can. We got God on our side, so we can move mountains. I appreciate all of the things, all of the support from my clients, from my friends, from the people who have been along this journey with me forever. Year 1 was a journey. Learn those 3 lessons: that it's lonelier than you think it's gonna be, that you can't serve everyone, and that it's easy if you're following the right path. And I'm looking forward to the next 10 years and many more of these conversations and you guys learning from me. So you guys have a fabulous weekend, and we'll see you soon.